Welcome back to Phillip Island, continuing action from the first round of the 2022 Championship. No better place to start our year in 2022 than Phillip Island. It's the traditional and spiritual home of Australian motorcycling. We're getting ready for Michelin Supersport. I'm especially excited this year about the Michelin Supersport Championship. Let's go down to the grid and see if we can hear from some of our riders with KP.
Hello team, all right, we've got Senna Agius here now. You are on a very fast Honda, my friend. Well done on pole. This is a great place to start at a really great track. So how are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling really good and I'm looking forward to it.
And tell me about, you're heading overseas, so we're only going to have you for this weekend, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm heading overseas to do the European Moto2 Championship, so I'll only be doing the first round and possibly something at the end of the year, but I'm ready for today and I'm looking forward to it.
Great, well we're looking forward to seeing how you go, my friend.
Thank you.
Cheers. Okay, we'll head over to Tommy Edwards. Tommy Edwards of the Bike Biz Bike. You had a bit of a roller coaster day yesterday. The red flag came out and you had a bit of an off. How are you feeling?
Yeah, you know, yesterday in qualifying we struggled a little bit and I had a big off. I was on a quick lap, but I think I could have gone to pole, but feeling okay today. Still a little bit stiff, but I think we should be fine through the races.
Yeah, you better watch out. There's been some geese flying around, so just make sure you steer clear of them.
Yeah, for sure. That's Phillip Island for you.
Excellent stuff, Tommy. Well, good luck out there, and we hope to see you at the finish line in first.
Thank you.
Cheers, team. We've got Tom Bramage here. Tom, how you feeling? We're going for race one, and it's going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. We're in a good spot. We're on the front row, and yeah, let's see what happens. Hopefully I get a good start and yeah, see how it plays out.
Yeah, and how was the weather playing out today? It's a little bit less windy than yesterday. Track temperatures are a little bit different.
Yeah, I think the heat's going to help us, and yeah, the wind's the same for everyone, so yeah, it's going to be good in places and hold us back in others. So
excellent stuff. All right, Tom, will you enjoy that? Safe racing. We'll see you at the end. Cheers, guys.
Thanks, KP. Yeah, great to hear from the front row of the grid there. And I think the best thing about that front row of the grid, Steve, is that we've got a young guy that's going off to represent Australia in the Junior World Championship for the Moto2 machines, and we've also got two young guys that have won championships here in Australia that are stepping up now to Supersport, that are probably going to go head-to-head, but there's a whole lot of other players in there as well. Have a look at that second row of the grid with Ollie Simpson, Ty Lynch and Jack Passfield. Pretty handy Supersport field this year.
Well, it certainly is. I mean, the other thing to remember about that front row is that they've all raced overseas at a time in their career, so they've got international experience in the 600 class. It gives the other guys like Ollie Simpson, who's another guy who's raced overseas in the Red Bull Rookies Club, but it gives guys like Ty Lynch, Jack Passfield, Dallas Skier, Scotty Nicholson, who's back in the championship, an opportunity to get into it.
Back down to KP on the grid.
I've got Dallas Skier here in P7. Dallas, it's been a pretty wild weekend, but you're finding some speed throughout. You found some speed through testing and through practice, so I know you're feeling pretty good going into this race.
Yeah, we're you know, another half a second in the lap times to really get us in the hunt for the podium. So if we can get up there, that'd be great. We know we've got the pace. We're in the mix. Just put our head down, get a good start, and go for it.
Yeah, who do you see as your biggest competitor on this grid?
It would definitely have to be like the front two boys, Tommy Edwards, Tom Bramage. You know, they're flying. Senna's not doing the whole round, so it's not too bad. But yeah, definitely everyone in front of me is my competitor.
Yeah, eyes on the prize, my friend. Well, you're about to take off. We're leaving the grid, so good luck. Can't wait to see you at the finish line.
No worries, thanks.
Let's have a look at our grid. Leading the way, Senna Agius, the only Honda in the field. We'll start from pole position with Yamaha-mounted Toms of Tom Edwards and Tom Bramage right behind him, joining him on that front row of the grid. Second row of the grid will be Ollie Simpson, Ty Lynch and Jack Passfield.
Dallas Skier starts row 3 with Scotty Nicholson back in the field in 8th position, Jack Hyde in 9th. Johnny Littress on the number 308 in 10th. 11th is Tim Large and Tom Drain in 12th.
Row 5 is led by Mitch Kuhn, John Quinn and Reece Belling on board bike number 61. And row 6 will be Tarbin Walker, Noel Mann and Brendan Wilson, who's done plenty of laps around here, most of them on classic bikes though, so he'll be no stranger to the Phillip Island circuit.
Absolutely.
Well, it is a 10-lap journey for Michelin Supersport, race number 1, just about ready to go. Riders are lined up on the grid, we're in the starters' hands. Michelin Supersport is go. Great start there from Senna Agis on board bike number 81. You can see he was just away, cleared out, and they make their way down towards turn 1 for the first time, but he's been swamped. He's actually run off the inside of the circuit, and the two Toms have taken their lead, and they're now into turn 1, and right behind them, I think it may have been Ollie Simpson on bike number 45 that made his way up into that leading group as well. Not sure what happened to Senna Agis there, but it looked like he got out very wide to the left-hand side of the circuit and dropped right back in the field.
Yeah, he certainly has. A lot of work to do for Senna Agis. He's way back down in 9th position at the moment, so work to do for him, but it's worked out perfectly for the two Toms out front. And it's Tommy Bramich in second, and Tommy Edwards leads the way. Remember, he had that big crash yesterday in qualifying, so he'll be looking to just try and keep things cool for the first couple of laps.
I tell you what, it was a massive big move there from Jack Passfield on board bike number 42 down into turn 4 on this occasion. As we see Senna Agis there back in the field. Not the best of starts, but he will start carving through them now like a hot knife through butter.
Remember, Supersport's proudly brought to you by Michelin this year. Good to see that they're supporting this class of up-and-coming riders.
So we've got Tom Edwards on the Bike Biz machine. Of course, he won a race at the final round last year and ended up second in the championship. And Tom Bramich had an interrupted first year of the championship, didn't he, Steve, with bike problems. Wasn't really able to show his true potential on a Supersport machine, but a lot of things have changed this weekend. He's been on the pace since we arrived here, and bike number 44 is absolutely flying. Yeah, look, there were some fundamental problems with his bike that were hidden that they didn't know about, but they've sorted that out now. So now Tommy, it's literally like restart time for him. And when you're enjoying your racing, you're fast. And I'll tell you what, he'll be enjoying being right where he is right now. But Jack Passfield, real good. We didn't even mention him, but he's been in the championship for a couple of years. Yeah, Jack Passfield's going fantastically well, and right behind him, Ollie Simpson on board bike number 45. Senna Agis is already up to 5th position. Tell you what, there's going to be no worry about Senna Agis' fitness. Oh, that was Ollie Simpson, I think, was it? Ollie Simpson on board bike number 45. Yeah. He's just lost a position to the hard-charging Senna Agis, who's coming through on board bike number 81. Have a look at the style of Senna Agis, who won the Supersport 300 Championship a couple of years ago, defeating Maxi Stouffer in the final round at Sydney Motorsport Park. Deep and late on the brakes into turn 4 was Ollie Simpson as well. Oh, up the inside goes Tommy Bramich. He's having that big dice there with Jack Passfield, and looks like Tom Edwards is just pulling away. We've got a faller there. Can't quite make out who that is at the moment, but looks like someone's gone down. See if we can see their number. It's under brakes into the Honda corner there. On the AMX replay, just see there, loses the front. The back comes around, and bang, they're all over. I think that might have been Harley's side on board bike number 95. He was on his side, unfortunately. That's Jack Passfield gone down at the bottom of turn 10. And that looked like he just lost the front end on the brakes. Looks like he may have hurt his wrist or something there. So hopefully Jack Passfield is able to get himself up. That's bike sitting in a dangerous position there, Steve. Yeah, so is the rider. They've got a little bit of time to clear him out of there, so... Here we go with another AMX replay. You can see him coming down here. He's trying to find a way up the inside of Tom Bramich, and Tom just goes across, didn't even know he was there, and took the front wheel of Jack Passfield's machine out. Yeah, I mean, he got in there. We've got a red flag to clear up that mess at the moment. Tommy Edwards won't be too happy about that. So it's going to be interesting to see as we get that red flag out. He'll be getting that red flag now. He'll cool down. He will not be happy because look at the lead that he's just managed to pull out. He's going to have to do it all again. Senna Agis, though, he gets another opportunity. Tom Bramich in position number 3. Tom Edwards in the middle as we get ready to go racing. Michelin Supersport race number 1. Supersport is go as they get a good start off the line. Tom Edwards, you can see the quality there as he got an excellent launch off the line. Senna Agis has definitely done a lot better on this occasion and pulls into third place. I think Tom Bramich was just trying to go up the inside of him as they made their way down through turn 1. But Senna says no, and he rolled the bike in that's a little bit faster and maintained second position. So he's about 7 places higher than what he was in the initial start at the same position. Yeah, well, he's going to be a danger for the guys then because he caught back up to those front guys pretty quickly, did Senna. So good to see him up there now. A much better start, as you said. Ollie Simpson is there in 4th position. Good start by him. And looks like Ty Lynch is up there as well. Ollie Simpson may have just gone up to 3rd with a big move on the brakes into, was on Honda corner at turn 4 there over Tom Bramich, but the black line that was left by a race leader, Tom Edwards, as he made his way through turn 3, Stoner corner, or Motul corner, Yamaha Financial Services corner this weekend was outrageous. He has left a massive big stain on the tarmac there turn 3, smoking it up on the first lap.
Yeah, absolutely. And up the inside, Senna has a bit of a look, but he can't quite make it through the Alpinestars Lukey Heights.
So we've got Honda versus Yamaha at the front. We've got Dunlop versus Michelin. Right behind is Ollie Simpson on board bike number 45. Tom Bramich on 44. Then it's Jack Hyde on board bike number 28, doing a good job as well.
Good to see Tom Drain there up in that top 8 as well, moving up into this class. A really good result for him. It'd be fantastic seeing him get into the top 10, get a good solid top 10 to kick it off.
Well, you're saying about riders with overseas international experience. Tom Drain is a multi-time AMA champion, having raced plenty of races in America as well. So another young man from country New South Wales that has certainly got a big future.
Tommy Edwards standing first lap, 41.0. That's a pretty good start. 263 k's an hour down the main straight here at Phillip Island.
Well, Tom Bramich has managed to get back ahead of Ollie Simpson, who was pretty late on the brakes in that first lap down into turn 4 Honda corner. We head back now to Yamaha Financial Services corner. Look at another big black line from Tom Edwards on board bike number 26. Well, he knows what Casey Stone needs to do in that corner, and he's doing suit on a Supersport bike, mind you, Steve.
Yeah, pretty impressive to see these guys, and it just shows you how close they are to the limit. One of the riders wide there.
I think that might have been Nicholson on board 39.
Yeah. So unfortunately for him, he's run off. No jump starts, which means that was a clean start. So they're in it for keeps now.
You get to see coming through there was Mitch Kuhn on board bike number 58. Always stands out, always a very well presented machine in his sharp leathers and the pink and white bike number 58, all the way from Queensland. We go back to Queensland for round 2, so Mitch Kuhn will be feeling far more at home once we get up to the northern state.
Senna just sitting in there behind Tommy Edwards at the moment. Doesn't appear to be trying to make too many moves. Yet to be seen whether he can or not. But Tom's just out front there doing what he can do. I'm sure that he's got a little bit in hand. But Senna right on the back wheel at the moment. He'll be definitely having a big look at Tom to see where his strengths are. And
you can see moving around there a little bit at turn 12 was Tom Edwards' bike. But he still managed to get excellent drive out onto the straight. And tell you what, that Honda's pretty quick, so not being able to pull out of the slipstream gives you an idea of how quick Tom Edwards' exit of turn 12 was.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, yeah, Tommy Edwards is, he's on the R6. The R6 is probably the newer of the two design bikes. When that R6 came out, it was, it was pretty hot to trot with a little bit of an advantage over the other machine. So the Honda's still a good machine, but work to be done.
Another big black line left by our race leader, Tom Edwards, on board bike number 26 as he made his way through turn 3 and down to Honda corner turn 4 again. The gap back to Tom Bramich has now got out to about 1.2 seconds. And Tom Bramich in turn has managed to open up a gap about 0.6 of a second over Ollie Simpson on board bike number 45. Great to have Ollie back in the championship. He was supposed to race the last round last year, wasn't he, Steve? But his bike played up. Then he was going to race in the 300s because the family was there. All of them were there. They had a spare bike, but then he thought, no, that's going to take the attention away from the rest of the family. As here we go, Senna just down the inside. Can he get the job done? He can. That was a clean move on the run down the hill into turn 10. And that part of the track, Steve, very, very hard to try and get the bike stopped there. It might not look it on the TV. That's a very steep hill.
Well, it is. I mean, we saw before that's where Jack Pasfeld didn't make it. As we have a look on the AMX replay, nice and clean through Lukey Heights. He just makes that move. He commits to the corner. Tommy Edwards nowhere to go there, and he made that pass quite easily.
Ollie Simpson looks like he may be getting caught by Jack Hyde on board bike number 28. That's on a bit of a charge.
Yeah.
On the last lap, he was actually 0.2 of a second faster.
John Litteris is also having a good run too. He's moved up into 6th position now, so he's made his way forward. Oh, big moment there. Didn't quite see who that was, but lucky to get away with that one.
I think that was the battle of John Quinn, Luke Sanders and Noel Mahon, actually, that we were just looking at then as we make our way across the top of Pirelli corner and down into turn 10.
I think something might have happened to Scotty Nicholson as well. He's falling back down the timesheet, so it looks like the dream run for him maybe over there. It's Ty Lynch having that dice with young John Litteris in the 308 machine.
Yeah, I think Dallas Skier's in that battle as well. He's the rider on the back of the group on board bike number 86. As we mentioned, got the very well-credentialed Glenn Richards working with him this weekend as well. And Look at Dallas trying to go around the outside of Johnny Littras, who's a multi-Australian dirt track and I think also Supermoto champion as well, and one of the front runners in the Supersport 300 class only a couple of years ago. This is a great little battle between these three.
Isn't it? And it's Dallas Skier who leads at the moment. Yeah, looks like Scotty Nicholson crashed out, unfortunately, which was why he ended up heading down the timesheet there.
The rider is up in the AOK, which is good to see. Tom Edwards has calmed down on the black line painting there through turn 3 a little bit, but still leaving some nice big darkies as he makes his way down in towards turn 4, just shadowing Senna Agis, our race leader on board bike number 81, the JMT Civil Elf and MIE Racing Honda CBR 600. Good to see a bit of a ridey at the front of the field in that too, Steve, with a Honda, which we don't see that often in the Australian Supersport Championship, doing incredibly well this weekend.
Well, the Honda's always been a good machine, but you know what it's like. I mean, if the factory were here with, you know, racing Hondas, probably half the field would have one, but they're not, you know, so the Yamaha is the latest and greatest thing, but the Honda's still a good bike, as we can see in the hands of Senna Agis. They've both got different strengths. The Honda is got a sweet handling chassis. The engine maybe not quite as fast as the Yamaha, but you know, it makes up for it, you know, around the corners.
And Damon Rees has showed that in the past as well, with some very impressive rides on board a CBR 600. Look at the style of Senna Agis as he makes his way through turn 12 now. Elbow down on the ground. Tom Edwards tucks in behind the screen, tries to make up that couple of bike length lead that Senna has been able to pull on the last lap. A 1:35.6 for Senna Agis on that last lap. Sorry, a 1:35.6, 1:35.5. Fastest lap of the race, though, still a 1:35.2 set by Tom Edwards. So I'm just wondering if Tom Edwards is just keeping his powder dry at the moment. They're sitting in Senna Agis' slipstream and letting him do all the donkey work at the moment, ready to come back for a last lap lunge.
Well, it's definitely easier to follow than to lead the way. So Senna Agis is using more mental, you know, issues at the moment, more mental energy, I should say. So, you know, Tommy Edwards, he just needs to hang in there and try and conserve his energy. And on the last couple of laps, you know, which we're getting into now, he's got to try and decide where he can get past and if he can make a break.
Looking at the battle here between Jack Hyde and Ollie Simpson. Jack Hyde on 28, just making his way past. You can see there how tucked in behind the screen it is. They've got matching leathers as well, Steve. Back to our race leaders. Senna still leading from Tom as they make their way up across the top of Lukey Heights, through Suzuki and Alpinestars corners and down into Pirelli we come.
Yeah, not much in it there, like maybe a little bit out of that corner, Pirelli, and into Michelin they go.
So we'll be coming round to complete 6 laps of the 8-lap journey. So I think the planning for the final lap will start as we go across the finish line. Tommy Edwards, massive moment.
No, there's an issue.
He's got a flat tyre.
No, there's an issue there for sure.
That back tyre is flat.
Oh, he is so lucky.
So he's got some sort of puncture or something
he needs
on
to pull off the track.
back tyre.
Yeah. Oh, he is so lucky to get away with that.
That was incredible skill to be able to keep that bike upright.
Skill and luck, but that is something that he did not need. We know that Senna Agis, as we have a look on the AMX replay, he's gone in, the back's come round. It still looks pumped up there. It looks like he's had some sort of massive decompression right at that point there, and he's managed to ride it out. He still thinks he just hit us something. He's on the gas. It won't recover. Flat tyre. Look at how disappointed he is there. He won't be disappointed for the fact that Senna's going to win this race because Senna's out, but for the rest of the year in the championship, he's got a lot of work to do now.
But we've still got 1.5 laps to go, and as we've seen, anything can happen.
It's not over till it's over. All we do know is that Senna Agis has got a massive lead right now, 6.6 seconds over the rest of the field. He may not know it yet, and he's heading into that lap 7 of 8, so really does need to be careful on this last lap now.
Yep, last lap board shown to our race leader, Senna Agis. On the last lap, he did a 1:35.690. His fastest lap of the race, a 1:35.297. But the fastest lap of the race, 1/1000th of a second faster by Tom Edwards. But unfortunately, his race will finish on the grass next to the start-finish line. Down in towards turn 1 we go now. This battle going on for the minor placings. John Littras on board the 308 machine, Ty Lynch on board the 85 machine, and I think that's Dallas Skier in that battle as well. They're battling for 5th place. So it is Johnny Littras has moved back up into 5th ahead of Dallas Skier on board the 86 machine. And on the back of that little group there is Ty Lynch on board bike number 85. Tom Drain's moved up into 8th as well. Look at the drive out of there from Dallas Gear. His bike's looking pretty composed. And Dallas is riding incredibly well. I think Glenn Rich is not only tuning up the motorcycle, he's also tuning up Dallas as well.
Yeah, no, they're a good team doing a good job, so, you know, really good to see. But I've just also been corrected that this machine is pretty much not the old machine. Trevor Hedge from MC News has told me, because he's a Honda man, he knows everything about it. This bike is new, and this guy is doing the job on it.
He certainly is. Well, he's got wings, and he's flying round turn 12 for the final time now. Senna Agis will take the race win as he comes down across the line. He will take the win by a considerable margin over Tom Bramich. So congratulations goes to Senna Agis and the JMT Civil team as they make their way across the line now. It is Tom Bramich takes second. The Bear Bird gets on the podium for the first time, as you mentioned, Steve, and we're now trying to find out who will take third place. I think it is Jack Hyde comes across the line in third position. Look at this battle. Litras just gets the better of Dallas Skier.
Yeah, what a job there. Brilliant job by him. And, you know, Johnny Litras is improving all the time on that 600 machine. But, boy, you can't take it away from Senna. He's a quick learner, isn't he? Yeah.
He certainly is. You can see the little winglets there on the Honda.
Yeah, well, I thought the winglets were the only thing that's new on that bike. But, in fact, I'm completely wrong. It's had a lot of different things done to it. New combustion chamber, better cooling, lots of different things. And, of course, as you can see, that's made it a race winner.
Well, congratulations to our top three, Senna Agis, Tom Bramich and Jack Hyde. Also, great ride from Ollie Simpson in 4th position. John Litras, great ride from him in 5th. Great battle with Dallas Skier and Ty Lynch, who took out 6th and 7th position. Tom Drain in 8th. Mitch Kuhn into the top 10 in 9th position. And Tim Large rounds out the top 10. Down to AMX Superstore's podium with KP in our top 3.
Yes, for the Michelin Supersport 600. Oh my gosh, Jack Hyde. Third, first podium. Well done. You look exhausted.
Yeah, thank you. I'm exhausted. You know, I've worked really hard all weekend. I've been nowhere all weekend. So going into that race, no expectations at all. I got pretty lucky with a few riders. Cool. Unlucky for them, but lucky for me crashing. And managed to stay upright and finish the race. And here I am.
Yes, smile. You should be happy.
Yeah, I am happy. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, good work. Great work, Jack. Okay, and in P2, Tom Bramich of Apex Bear Bird, your first podium. Congrats. I feel like you've worked really hard for this.
Yeah, last year was definitely a struggle, and we've come a long way since then. But yeah, we can't be happy with that. The gap to the front was massive, and yeah, we got to figure out how to get that closer. But massive thanks to all my sponsors, Apex Steel, the Bear Bird, Carl Cox Motorsport, and yeah, all our technical partners.
You came really close to being wiped out there as well.
Yeah, I felt that in the first stint, and yeah, I think everyone gets a bit keen in the first few laps. So yeah.
Thanks, Tom. Well done. Congratulations. And in P1, Senna Agis of JMT Civil Racing. Senna, well done. You were miles ahead of the field.
No, thank you. I witnessed it all out there. I had a horrible first start. I hit a bird on the first lap, and then I had to regroup for the rerun. Unlucky for Tommy, I heard that he had a problem, so I hope to see him out there in the next race. Thanks to everyone at Honda and JMT Civil, and of course Michelin.
Excellent stuff. Thanks so much, Senna. Congratulations. A big round of applause for P1 Senna Agis, P2 Tom Bramich and P3 Jack Hyde. Well done, boys.
Welcome back to Phillip Island and the first round at the 2022 My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbike Championships presented by Motul. The bikes are making their way out onto the grid for Michelin Supersport race number 2. Time to go down to KP on the grid with our Michelin Supersport riders.
Yes, I've got Senna Agis here, the one, the only, the man on pole. Good position to be in, obviously. Last race was quite wild.
Yeah, happy to be in pole for race 2. I'm ready for this race again. The wind seems to pick up, so that might come into play, but I'm ready.
Yeah, and in terms of your mental state, because so much did happen in that previous race, how are you feeling?
Just trying to stay calm,
I experienced it all in the second race, so I'm hoping that the start can be a bit more calm.
Yeah, you did also have a little trouble with your start, but you said that was because you aren't so used to starting on the 600, but it seems like you learned pretty quickly.
Yeah, me and Steph from Coach 49 have ironed that out, and not making that mistake again.
Yeah, excellent stuff, Santa. We wish you a lot of luck. Now, Tommy Edwards. What went down in that previous race? We lost the rear tyre, but you are back for some redemption.
Yeah, for sure. You know, we had unlucky getting something in the tyre in that first one, but definitely back for this one.
Yeah, exactly. And so what are you feeling about the fact that the wind is picking up, the track temperature has changed a little bit?
Not too much. We're just play it as it goes. So, I mean, obviously we'll have to adapt some things through the race, and we'll figure that out when it comes with the wind and stuff. But we got to do some practice with some wind, so it should be fine.
Just got to get a target on that, on Senna's back right there, right? You're probably happy he's leaving after this round.
Yeah, hopefully it's on my back, not his. But
excellent stuff. And Tom Bramich. Now, that was a pretty good race back there. You did well. You got yourself a podium. But tell me about your corner speed, your entry speed, which you've also had Wayne Maxwell's crew chief helping you out with, Adrian Monty. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's been really good with the help of Craig Martin and all the technical guys, Adrian and Wayne himself. We've improved the bike a lot, and we're only just start getting going. So let's see how we go with this one, and then we'll have a think about it for the next round.
Excellent stuff, my friend. Good luck. And we've got Ollie Simpson over here. Or are we getting booted off? We are getting booted.
Everybody off, let's go.
Just quickly, Ollie, this is second race. How are you feeling going into it? It was quite mental, that last one we just had.
Yeah, there's a lot going in the last one. Big learning curve for me because my first race on the 600, but yeah, hopefully learn what I can learn from the first one I can put into this one. Should be
excellent stuff. Well, we wish you the best of luck.
Thanks.
Thanks, Ollie.
Thanks, KP. Great to hear from you down there on the grid, and great to hear from those riders. And Ollie Simpson, great to see him back in the championship too. I remember first meeting Ollie Simpson, have to be 5, 6, maybe 7 years ago, Steve Martin. He was knee-high to a grasshopper back then. Hasn't he grown since then, both in riding stature, but also in physical stature as well?
Yeah, he certainly has, and he can ride a 600 pretty good, considering it was his first real competition on that machine. So really good to see him out there, and all those years in the Red Bull Rookies Cup and racing overseas, we know that he's a tough rider, a tough racer, so it's not going to take him long to get up to speed and run with those front guys.
Notice that Senna just cracked out a new helmet for this race too. He previously had a different helmet. He's brought out the Kianari replica for this one. Well, that's quite fitting, seeing he's riding a Honda, really, isn't it? Right, your grid, Senna Adjus will line up on pole position on board bike number 81, with Tom Edwards on 26, the Bike Biz Machine, and Tom Bramich, the Bear Bird Yamaha R6 in third position. The second row of the grid is Ollie Simpson on 45, Ty Lynch on 85, and Jack Passfield hopefully will be back for the next round, but I don't think with that wrist injury, Jack will be on the grid for race number 2.
Dallas Skier starts row 3 with Scott Nicholson in 8th. He had an off earlier on, I think, and Jack Hyde in 9th. He was a crasher as well. John Littress on the 308 machine, good result from him, and Tim Large, number 74 in 11th. 12th, Tom Drain.
The row 5 will be Mitch Kuhn, John Quinn and Reece Belling. Row 6 will be Tarbin Walker, Noel Mann and Brendan Wilson on board bike number 54. No stranger to Phillip Island, done plenty of laps, a lot of them on historic bikes, so he certainly knows where the track goes. Michelin Supersport Championship, but we're ready to go racing. We've got a green flag at the back of the grid, Steve Martin, red flag ready to go up the front. Of course, no Sam Phillips here this weekend. Get well soon, start line Sam, and hopefully we'll see you back in Queensland. But Michelin Supersport is ready to go. Senna Adjus on pole position, Tom Edwards in second, Bramich in third. Michelin Supersport is go. Looked like a better start for Senna Adjus, but Tom Edwards, once again, a cracking start, will lead them as they head down towards turn 1 on board bike number 26. It's the Bike Biz entry that leads. Adjus in position number 2. A great start for him compared to the starts that he's had earlier on this weekend. Tom Bramich, and then in third place, just looking to see who that is. That's Ollie Simpson.
Yep. Oh, we just had a little bit of a lose on the front, did Ollie Simpson there. Bit of a twitch, a little bit early for that. Got to let these tyres warm up a bit, but cannot afford to let these front guys get away. They're in a bit of a league of their own at the moment. The guys in third, fourth and fifth need to dig deep.
Just had it confirmed from race direction that the start is under investigation, so they'll be having a bit of a look at that as the field makes its way down towards turn 4. Honda corner for the first time. We've got run 1 running wide. Couldn't quite see who that was, but he's back on track now. The escape road there is much better now that you can actually run in a little bit wide. You don't get penalised by running onto the grass. You can get the bike back on track very, very quickly.
That could have been John Quinn, I think. John Quinn who ran wide there. And of course, as you said before, Phil, the start is under investigation. I didn't quite see who jumped. I know that Senna Edges got off the line very smartly, left the line, but you know, Tommy Edwards had that alternate pace, so let's hope that gets cleared up.
Looks like a good start too from Ty Lynch and Jack Hyde on 85 and 28. They're just behind this lead group, shadowing Ollie Simpson at the moment. Well, you can see how much pace those lead riders have got. They're just starting to pull away from the rest of the field now. Tom Drain in 7th place, Littrus in 8th, Dallas Skier in 9th, and Scotty Nicholson rounds out the top 10 with Queenslander Mitch Kuhn. You'll never miss his bike. It's very brightly coloured with a bit of pink on the front of it in 11th place. And Tim Large in 12th place on board bike number 74 on the Race Centre machine. But our race leader is Senna Edges. Have a look at the style of Senna Edges as he gets into this corner. You can hardly see him when you look from that angle. He's all over the inside of the motorcycle, got the elbow down on the ground. Tom Edwards.
I'm pretty sure he's got like a Moto 2 bike as well at home, hasn't he? So like he'll be doing all sorts of practicing and getting ready on that Moto 2 bike, which is, you know, probably used to those bigger lean angles and things. So he's been doing a lot of riding and training and stuff. So you'd expect him to be at the top of his game as he heads over to Europe very, very shortly.
Well, with the Moto 2 bike, the CBR 600 probably, the production machine probably feels a little bit squishy compared to the very rigid machines. Oh, there's someone has gone down, just looking to see what number that machine is. It looks like it could be
Tim Large, I think it is.
It is Tim Large, bike number 74. There it is, the Race Centre machine. Unfortunately, looks like it's an end to his race. As we see Senna Edges still leading, but coming under a fair amount of pressure now from Ollie Simpson is Tom Bramich on board bike number 44. Now, Tom's year last year was his first year in the championship in the Supersport category after a couple of years overseas racing. They had so many problems with that machine, getting it sorted, a lot of little niggling things they didn't find out about until it was all too late. But this year, all of those problems are sorted, and Tom Bramich is back on the pace that we know he can run at the front of this field.
Yeah, you'd have to say it was a bit of a disaster for him last year. He'd be much happier with the way round one's working for him here. And to be fair, his lap times right now are pretty impressive. Fastest lap of the race for him was his last lap, 36.2. 35.4 for Senna Edges. So, you know, you can see the pace that those front guys are running, but 36.2 is possibly Tommy's fastest lap of the weekend.
And when you talk about that lap time from Senna Edges, so 1:35.467, he is 9 or 10 kilometres an hour down in top speed compared to Tom Edwards and Tom Bramich. But Phillip Island, Steve Martin, as you've pointed out so many times before, is not about top speed. It's about how you string the corners together. And we know that Honda has got a fantastic chassis.
It certainly does. And it is the way that you get into the corners and keep that mid-corner speed up. That's where you get your time at Phillip Island. On top of that, even though Senna has a few bike lengths on Tom Edwards down that straight, it would be creating a big hole that Tommy Edwards is getting the slipstream, which is making his bike look probably faster than it really is as well. So 2:54, not bad out front.
Scotty Nicholson has crashed, unfortunately, at turn 10. The rider is up and resuming on board bike number 39, so hopefully he can make it to the checkered flag. Looks like Tom Bramich has also started to get away from Ollie Simpson, who was applying a bit of pressure at this same area of the circuit only a lap ago. There's Mitch Kuhn on board bike number 58 doing a good job, well inside the top 10 at the moment.
That would be probably one of the best rides that Mitch has had in the 600 class, wouldn't it? Up there in 8th position. I think that's not bad at all for him.
Yep, no, Mitch Kuhn's actually been in the championship for a couple of years now, but only having guest rides a lot of the time. But good to see him back in the championship full time this year. This would be his 9th start in the Michelin Supersport Championship. As we make our way down the start-finish straight, there's rider 61, Reece Belling. He is the most experienced man. 59th start for Reece Belling in this championship. He's also one of the nicest guys in the paddock. Wouldn't be plenty of times people have actually needed engines and things like that, and Reece Belling's the man that has been able to lend them one. But look at this now. We've got Senna Edges still leading, but Tom Edwards closing in. Both of them are completely sideways and out of control into turn 4. This is what we love about Michelin Supersport.
Absolutely. The pressure's on now. Tommy Edwards won't be thinking about the rear tyre. Remember race 1 earlier on today, he got a punch in the rear. Bit of a moment there. Let's have a look. He's hard on the brakes, goes a bit sideways, grabs and flicks back. Senna Agis, in the meantime, back with there. Tom Edwards is just sliding it in right behind him. Two different styles. Senna got a little bit, and there's a big gap there now.
Yep, where is Tom Edwards? He looks like he may have dropped a long way back. Just looking to see. There he is. That moment cost him a very, very...
He must have had another moment.
An incredible amount of distance, and he's now fallen back into the clutches of Tom Bramich, who's right on his tail. Let's have a look at this lap time is going to be possibly 2 or maybe even 2.5 seconds slower than his last lap. His fastest lap of the race so far, a 1:35.619. This lap's going to be back in the 36s or 37s, I think, Steve.
Yeah, definitely some sort of issue there. Tom Bramich is saying thank you very much, but here we go. Tom Bramich slipstreams past.
Yeah, a 37.268 for Tom Edwards on that last lap.
And Tom Bramich, a 36.1, is getting faster and faster and faster. This is what he needed. Oh!
Looked like he went to go for the brakes there and just nearly hit the back end of Tom Edwards' machine, had to run wide. Great evasive skills there from Tom Bramich, but that's cost him a fair amount of distance. All the while, our race leader, Senna Agis, continuing to lap in the 1:35s and pull away to a very comfortable now, pushing out to 2-second lead.
Yeah, it's, I mean, even though Senna made the mistake, he gathered it up. Tommy Edwards, whatever happened there, we sort of missed the mistake that cost him the time. But on the AMX replay there, you can just see Tom Bramich had no choice but to jam the brakes on there. Otherwise, he was going to run into the back of Edwards.
Yeah, I think his corner entry speed was far superior, and the back end of the bike was actually off the ground when he had to apply the brakes so hard.
Well, he's lucky to get away with that one.
Up towards the top of the hill at Alpinestars now as they come across the top of the hill.
Brendan Wilson chasing him down, and just behind those guys is Quinny, Tarvin Walker, Noel Mann is there as well. Reece Belling's making his way forward again. You're talking about Reece, I mean, you know, he's had a lot of starts, but he hasn't had a lot of starts recently, has he? He's sort of like more or less retired.
In the last 2 years, I don't think anyone's had a lot of starts.
But even before that, he was sort of like retired, you know, got married.
Missed a couple of rounds and did a few things like that, concentrated on his bricklaying business, I think, for a fair while.
That sort of stuff. So he's sort of like on his way back again, so let's hope that he sees the year out. We haven't talked much about Ty Lynch. Lynch is up in 5th position at the moment. He's also coming back from an injury sustained in the middle of last year. So good to see Ty Lynch up in that pretty safe 5th position at the moment.
Yeah, I think he did a fair amount of riding at the end of last year. They were doing a lot of rider coaching and that, didn't he? Yeah, with Dave Johnson and a few other South Australian guys doing a fair bit of riding. But there's nothing like racing to actually get you attuned to this sort of stuff. You can do all the testing you want, can't you, Steve? But it's all about getting out there and actually racing. And that's the one thing that he hasn't been able to do a lot of. So a great result there from Ty Lynch in 5th position.
Yeah, those three though, Harley Side, Luke Sanders and Brendan Wilson are having a good little tussle between them there. This guy out front probably finding it a little bit boring at the moment, do you reckon? What do you think is going through his head?
No, I think he is pushing the absolute limit because speaking to Glenn Allerton, he said he is so determined to just better himself every single time he goes out. And I think at the moment he's just competing against himself, trying to lower his lap times, run that consistent pace. Exactly what he's going to have to do when he goes overseas and races in the Junior World Championship for Moto2, because that's exactly what everyone else over there is doing. And that the way he's pushing into those corners with the back end starting to step out is very Moto2 style as well too. You've got to be late on the brakes to get into corners and still carry corner speed if you want to be a success in that championship, and that's the place if you want to make it in the MotoGP, Moto2 class is a great place to start.
And all you need to do is look at his lap times. His fastest lap of the race was a 35.4. That time round, lap 6, 35.6, a variation of 0.2 from his fastest lap.
And I think his one before that was a 35.7, so there's just no variation at all. You can see the full MotoGP braking style there, the foot out as he comes down into Honda corner turn 4. Looks like Tom Edwards has managed to gather it up again and start to pull away from Tom Bramich. And the other thing is, Tom Edwards knows that Senna Agis is not going to be here for the remainder of the season. He's going overseas. He may race the last round of the championship. As far as Tom Edwards is concerned, he should have a massive stack of points by then, and Senna won't be a threat.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he probably thought going into the weekend, but as we know, he didn't finish race 1. So, in fact, Tommy Edwards, the favourite for the championship, let's say, has got no points at all.
Heading into race 2, that's why he'll be pretty keen to make sure he gets some points in this second and final race for Michelin Supersport here. And a good haul of points after the first round gives you that bit of confidence heading into second round, which is only in 3 or 4 weeks' time at Queensland Raceway as well, Steve. So back to this battle now between bike number 95, Harley Side, who unfortunately, as you mentioned, ended up on his side in race number 1, but he's having a real battle here, so his concentration will be utmost. They're trying to find their way up to Mitch Kuhn, who's just ahead on board bike number 58, the Shark Leathers machine.
With Tom Drain just in front of him. Of course, Tom's younger brother Sam is racing in the Blue Crew Junior Cup this weekend as well. So both boys here this weekend in their respective classes.
Yep, and from Parks, I think, in Western New South Wales, the Drain family. So doing a great job. We go back to that battle, Noel Mahon on board bike number 10 at the back of that group.
Yeah, there's some good rides and tussles all the way through this race, isn't there? I mean, it may have stretched out a little with Senna at the front, but, I mean, look at this gaggle of guys now, 4 in the group. It's so like Luke Sanders, Noel Mahon's joined that as well now.
We're on lap 8 of the 10-lap journey for Michelin Supersport. Senna Adjus's lead at the moment over Tom Edwards is 3.356 seconds. Tom Bramich a further 1.3 seconds back in 3rd position, and Ollie Simpson still holding down 4th with a pretty handy lead over Ty Lynch. So the 2 South Australians doing a pretty good job there in 4th and 5th position.
Still a pretty impressive little tussle going on here between Brendan Wilson, Harley Side. There's Luke Sanders there on the number 88 machine, Noel Mahon as well as there, Reece Belling's in there, and Tarbin Walker just in the back.
Was that Sanders on 88 just had a little bit of a wobble as he made his way out of Ducati Corner, the Siberia area, and then started heading up towards Dunlop, where you got to turn left and then turn right very quickly through the hay shed. Look down the inside, Noel Mahon having a big look. He gets the job done. Goes up 1 position ahead of Luke Sanders. So through Michelin Corner we go now. Trying to get the run also now on bike number 95, Harley Side, is Noel Mahon, who run Kawasaki's for many years in this championship, but has now switched to the dominant Yamaha R6 machinery in a livery that you won't miss in a hurry. Pretty bright coloured bike there from Noel Mahon on board bike number 10.
Just a little bit weak on the brakes was Mahon. Then the others went 3 or 4 bike lengths further in, but meanwhile back out front, the machine, Senna Adjus, still 2/10 variation in his lap time. Brilliant job by him. Another 35.6, doing everything right with only a couple of laps to go. He is not backing the pace off. He's got a lead now of 3.6 over Tommy Edwards.
Well, we're saying about Tom Bramich's season last year, how it was a very difficult one. His best finish wasn't all that good. I don't think he got anywhere near the podium last year because we had those 3 dominant riders, and he ended up 9th in the championship. But we know his pedigree. He is a former 300 Supersport champion, and he also won the Moto 3 championship years ago as well. So,
if I remember rightly, he won that here at Phillip Island as well.
2-time Australian champion, Tom Bramich. So, not expecting him to be off the podium in the rest of the season with the way that it's going now and how well the bike's actually going as well. And he's sitting behind that man there, Tom Edwards, on board bike number 26. Both of them actually raced in the Supersport 300 World Championship the same couple of years as well, doing a great job over there in what is arguably one of the toughest championships anywhere in the world.
No, it certainly is, and I mean that does toughen you up as a rider, and that's why these guys are up at the front. They've had to learn the hard way that you've got to take the knocks and make the most out of everything. And Tommy Edwards, I mean, we saw it and have that incident in race 1 for him earlier on today where the rear tyre just let go. You've got to put it behind you. It is what it is and move on.
Yeah, certainly no fault of Tom's. It's some sort of technical issue, something on the track punctured the tyre. He did incredibly well to save it and not actually step off the machine through turn 12 when that rear tyre just all of a sudden deflated. Speaking of deflated, that's how Jack Hyde's going to be feeling, Steve, because he's just retired, entering the pits. So an early end for the weekend for the rider on board bike number 28. Until this point, had been a pretty successful weekend for him.
Yeah, it's been a good weekend. Hopefully it's just some small technical hitch, but on the final lap, it is this man, Senna Aegis, who is bringing the Honda home for victory in the 600 class, something that we haven't said for a while.
That's right. So JMT Civil look like they're going to celebrate with a double victory this weekend for their rider, Senna Aegis. Bike number 81, rounds turn 12 for the final time in this Michelin Supersport class. He will take his second win of the weekend and a perfect score, pole position and 2 race wins. Senna Aegis takes the win and he goes off to Europe with a whole lot of confidence, having dominated this weekend here at Phillip Island. Second place will go to Tom Edwards on board bike number 26, and Tom Bramich will come across the line to secure third place and his second podium of the weekend as well in the Michelin Supersport class. Ollie Simpson, a great ride from him to finish in 4th on board bike number 45, and a much more successful weekend than his last outing, where the bike actually didn't get past the first day of practice. Field coming round now. They've caught up to Reece Belling. So Reece Belling is having to fight the hordes off to secure this position as they come down to the line now. Look at that, just behind there's another group of riders as well. Big lunge at the line there, didn't quite get there, I don't think. Looks like Reece Belling will hold on to 9th position, but no one could hold on to that man this weekend, Steve Martin. It was all about Senna Aegis. A great performance for him before he heads off overseas. He takes the race win by 4.8 seconds over Tom Edwards. Tom Bramich in 3rd place, Ollie Simpson in 4th, Ty Lynch in 5th, Tom Drain in 6th, Mitch Kuhn in 7th, Brendan Wilson in 8th, Reece Belling in 9th, and Luke Sanders rounds out the top 10. All of them on Yamahas except for Senna Aegis on the Honda.
Yeah, John Quinn 11th, 12th was Noel Mahon. Harley Side, good to see him make the finish. That was an exciting ride for him. Tarbin Walker up there too in 14th. Scott Nicholson got that last point after running off track. Unfortunately, Johnny Littris, Jack Hyde and Dallas Gear crashed or pulled into the pits.
So Senna Aegis leads the championship on 51, Tom Bramich on 38 and Ollie Simpson on 34.
And we've just had the Michelin Supersport 600 race. And Tom Bramich has come in P3. Congratulations, Tom. Your lap times are really speeding up, and the gap to the front was a lot shorter this time.
Yeah, that's right, Kate. It was a much better race for me. I didn't make as many mistakes, and that was what I was really concentrating on. But yeah, this is just a start, and I'm really happy with how things are going. We're improving, and it's a massive improvement since last year too. We really struggled. So yeah, I'm really excited for the coming rounds, and I couldn't do it without my sponsors, Apex Steel, Carl Cox Motorsport, and the Bear Birders, along with our technical sponsors. So thanks heaps.
Excellent stuff, Tom. I think it's going to be a battle of the Toms, don't you think?
Yeah, I hope so. That'd be good.
Excellent stuff. Good work, Tom Bramich. And in P2 from Bike Biz, Tommy Edwards. Well done, my friend. I was just saying to the other Tom, it's going to end up a battle of the Toms.
Yeah, for sure. I think a few of the other boys will definitely pick their game up through the year. You know, a couple of the boys from the 300s and stuff. But I just want to say a big thank to Bike Biz. You know, obviously we did a good job last year. We didn't win it, but we are definitely coming into it, and it hasn't been the best start, but yeah, massive thanks to Bike Biz, and can't wait to do it with Dunlop.
You've got a bit of work to do, though, to liven up those points for the rest of the season. I bet you're probably happy that Senna's out of here.
Yeah, for sure. He definitely would have been some hard competition through the year, no doubt. But overall, should be a good season.
Excellent stuff, Tom. Good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
And in P1, Senna Aegis. Senna, this is a great way to end your little mini campaign in Australia before you head off overseas.
Yeah, thanks, Kate. It's been amazing to get pole yesterday and 2 race wins today, and to have that little margin at the end was nice to end the weekend well. But a huge thanks to JMT Civil, Honda, Pirelli, Steph from Coach 49, SBS brake pads, Cassins, Arai, Danes, everyone that supports me. It's only a little group that helps me run this new CBR 600 RR, but we're working well, and I think this has set up my campaign for Europe nicely.
Well, there's plenty more action coming up. Of course, we're just about ready to be done here at Phillip Island, the first round of the championship. What a weekend it's been. Not too long to wait, though, for more action. Round 2 at Queensland Raceway on the 18th to the 20th of March. Round 3, Wakefield Park at Goulburn in New South Wales. The spectator circuit, always a massive crowd there, the 22nd to the 24th of April. Then it's up to the Hidden Valley Raceway with the supercars in June. Superbikes only at that round, the 17th to the 19th of June. Back to Morgan Park Raceway in Queensland, another crowd favourite, the 5th to the 7th of August. Symonds Plains in Tasmania, haven't been to Tasmania for many years, looking forward to heading back there on the 20th to the 23rd of October. Back here at Phillip Island in November, and then the Bend Motorsport Park for the grand finale, the 2nd to the 4th of December. Pro MX coming up very soon at the Wonthaggi round, not too far here from Phillip Island, the 27th of March. Round 2 at Mackay in Queensland, the 10th of April. Round 3 at Wodonga in Victoria, the 1st of May. Round 4 at Gilman in South Australia on the 29th of May. Then round 5 at Maitland in the Hunter Valley in New South Wales, the 26th of June. 24th of July, round 6 at Coffs Harbour. 14th of August, round 7 at Queensland Moto Park, and then the Coolum final round, round 8 of the championship on the 20th to the 21st of August. The Australian Off-Road Championship also has 8 rounds this year. We've got rounds 1 and 2 at Jarrabah in Queensland, round 3 and 4 in Mackay in Queensland, round 5 and 6 at Kyogle in New South Wales, round 7 and 8 at Nowra in New South Wales, round 9 and 10 at Kingston in South Australia, and rounds 11 and 12 at Wynyard in Tasmania on the 8th to the 9th of October. For more information, go to the respective calendars, AORC, for all of the Off-Road Information Championship. Back down to UKP and Steve.
Thanks, Phil. Yes, I've got Steve with me. Steve, we've got Queensland Raceway next.
Yeah, I can't wait to get there. I mean, that's a track that I've ridden around before, and it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of overtaking in the braking areas there. You have to be brave. There's just such a variance of things. I think we could see other bikes come to the fore there as well. We know that we just had a test up there, the BMWs. They worked well up there, so it might just mix things up a little bit. We haven't been there for a few years.
Exactly. It's exciting stuff. I cannot wait. Make sure you're watching and head to asbk.com.au for all the details. Thanks so much, Steve. It's been an excellent weekend.
It certainly has been an excellent weekend. Roll on the next one.